Hello everyone, Cindy Saddleman here, and I want to do another Random Thoughts of Randomness. This is a not very regular style type of stream of conscience game show discussion vlog thing. I'll try to work out a decent intro later. But I want to talk about a certain year, and it kind of stems off the series that I did, The Games of 90. I just don't have time to, as much as I want to finish it, and trust me, I do. It's just that I don't have time right now. Um, I work I work 5 days a week. I'm out of the house 13 hours a week, 13 hours a day, due to travel and everything. And when I go home, I'm dog ass tired. But I talk about the games of 90 to talk about another year I thought about doing a video series for, and that was 1985. And even though it might not recognize, there were a lot of shows in 1985, and a lot of them on at the same time. Now, I'm just to set aside for now the network shows, and I just want to focus on syndication. Because if you thought 1990 had a glut, it does not compare to 1985. So let me explain. In 1985, or January 1985, you had Wheel of Fortune, Jeopardy, Family Feud, Tic Tac Dough, The Joker's Wild, Name That Tune, Sail the Century just started, Love Connections out there, and I'm pretty sure there are some more that I left. I know I wrote them down here. Um, yeah, a couple others that I'm forgetting as well. But I'm not sure that they were around for quite long, or they were probably local or regional shows. But anyway, the point stands. That was a lot of game shows and not a lot of time slots. Because for syndication around that time period, you really only had like one or two independent stations they could take on, sometimes three. And sure, there was Prime Access, but more than likely that was going to Wheel of Fortune and another show. And you had Entertainment Tonight out there, which was starting to gain tons of steam. And with so many game shows, a lot of them had awful time slots, or in certain markets, didn't have slots at all. So, when I hear that there were too many shows in 1990, I just kind of roll my eyes. Because granted, you had a whole bunch of talk shows coming up. I mean, 1990 had, at its peak, Oprah, Sally, Donahue, Geraldo. Who else started in 90? Anyway, those are the big four. And there were other. Arsenio was late night. I'm pretty sure there was a daytime talk show somewhere around there that wasn't the big four that was floating around. But nevertheless. And when you had local stations, like they had their own programming too. Some of them had local news. And would do midday movies and other programming. There was just not enough. And add on to that, the prices for syndicated programming were going higher and higher. So a lot of times local stations either did local programming or resorted to very cheap reruns. And that's not even getting into September of 85, where Name That Tune and Family Feud go off of first run syndication. Feud will have Best of Family Feud around this time. That is reruns. That does not count. Match Game would have reruns appear at this time. That does not count. In first run syndication, what gets added? Well, you had the new Newlywed Game, $100,000 Pyramid, Break the Bank, Price is Right with Tom Kennedy, Catchphrase, and Headline Chasers. And in 1985, you would see Sally Jesse Raphael getting prominence, even though it was a 30-minute show at this time. Morton Downey Jr. debuted. Donahue still going strong. And a lot of the markets only had like 2 independent stations. I know at this time Seattle got KTZZ, which is now Fox 13 Plus, and that was the third one, but hardly anything showed up there. So think about it. You had the 5 shows prior that didn't go off the air: Wheel, Jeopardy, Tic Tac Toe, Joker's Wild, Love Connection, and Sale of the Century. And then you add in more than double those shows, and it was just like they're scratching and clawing just to get airtime. And I know a lot of times those nighttime, a lot of those shows got very bad time slots. I know that in 1985, some stations had Price is Right with Tom Kennedy on like 2 in the morning, and others just didn't run those shows or had them in very bad time slots. And probably the only one out of that grouping that debuted, which could survive not very ideal time slots, is the new Newlywed Game. And it did. It lasted until 1989. $100,000 Pyramid started off strong, but it petered out in 1988. But it all just goes to show you that there's only a finite amount of time slots and nowhere to do it. And not enough for everyone to go around. And I kind of see it now with the current TV landscape. Even though there are a lot more local stations, like we have your ABC, NBC, CBS, Fox, CW if you have it. And currently we have just syndication. I'm not taking account Price is Right, Let's Make a Deal. Wheel of Fortune, Jeopardy, Funny You Should Ask, Family Feud, 25 Words or Less, Person, Place, or Thing, Pictionary, Flip Side. I'm also not counting People Puzzler reruns. Which, by the way, as an offshoot to that, are GSN going to make new episodes of that anytime soon? Because if they're doing well enough at syndication, it might be worth their while to put out a 130 episode season or something, just to get some freshness out of it. And you have Person, Place, or Thing and Pictionary going away after this year. And in its place is The Perfect Line with Deborah Norville and another show that I'm blanking on right now. But that kind of gets into the replacing shows and also having a second home. For example, kind of like Flip Side, which also airs on GSN. I think Perfect Line's going to wind up there too. Anyways, I kind of want to do 85 just because I think it would be a lot of fun. But just time is finite, slots are finite. Don't know if anything's going to get done on that front. Anyway, I'd like to thank everybody for watching this little stream of conscience vlog about 1985. And if you leave your comments below on what you want to see, maybe in regards to 85, maybe a top 5, bottom 5, blandest 5 of 85, or something along those lines. Anyway, if you want to continue to support the channel, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, or become a Patreon backer at patreon.com/GameShowGumbo. And your names will be in the credits of longer form videos, or essentially videos that aren't just me talking in front of a camera with no script or anything like that, or anything pre-planned. Take care, everybody. We will see you next time. Bye bye.